Hello and welcome back to the Common Theory, the internet's #1 CPDH podcast. As you can tell, Rohan and Gator are not here. Unfortunately, Rohan just got busy with work, and Gator's just kind of dead again. This kind of happens when you're just working super hard, and life and family get in the way, so it just happens. But fortunately, we're joined here by some of our friends from the internet. Introducing Callie Shae from TikTok and Instagram. Callie, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing great. We also have Edgar, also known as Ravnica Building and Planning, also from TikTok and Instagram. Edgar, how are you doing? Hi. We have one of our really good friends, Potato, who we also play PDH with over at ROK Esports down in Miami. Potato, how are you doing?
Doing great.
Yeah, so how we usually start off every show is just asking you guys, how's your weekend been? So, Callie, how's your weekend?
It was good. You heard what?
No, I said I heard some really great news, so congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, I was like, oh God, I talk all day long to this guy. I have no clue which part he's talking about. Yes, I got a new job this weekend, which is cool. My dad is in Europe, so we didn't get to celebrate Father's Day, so that's pending because of Vegas coming up. But yeah, it was a good weekend. How was yours?
Yeah, because actually, by the time you guys hear this, you may have met her over in Vegas.
Yeah.
This weekend.
So, I'll be hanging out. I have a Pauper deck that I'm bringing to Vegas. So.
Oh yeah.
Not the Pauper deck.
All right, guys. So you know how women steal sweaters? This woman stole my Dargo Cadets deck. I sent it out to her last year.
Guilty. I believe it was Chicago of last year.
That's crazy work.
Man, time flies when you're having fun.
Oh man! I mean, I was gonna plan on playing that deck a lot more. I had Gator's actual physical version for a while, but I'll probably get it off of him when I go to Atlanta.
I'm just breaking it in.
I have to send you the updates for it eventually. Because I know Gator did made some updates to that deck recently.
Cool.
Yeah, so Edgar, how has your weekend been?
Great. I don't really remember it, but I'm here, so I guess everything turned out.
What do you mean you don't remember? What the hell did you do for Father's Day then?
What bender did you get into?
For real?
I don't even remember what I did today, so...
Oh, he's disassociated?
Yeah.
Wow, that's super...
I go through the motions.
I get
it. I like it.
Yeah. Andres, how was your weekend, man?
My weekend was fantastic. I'm coming off of the North American International Championships for Pokemon, the largest event of the season, closing out the season before Worlds. We saw almost 6,000 people competing across 4 different games.
Wow.
Crazy. And I was on the judge staff helping make sure the games ran smoothly for everyone.
Yeah, although I wonder how the judging and staffing is for Pokemon Go, because I know Pokemon gives out has the what are they on now? iPhones? They swap.
Yeah. So if you're playing at a regional level event, they provide a bunch of iPhone, I want to say 14s, and then at the international levels, they ship around a batch of 15 Pros or 15 Pro Maxes to be used.
That's
so that
crazy.
Well, I mean, they're like lock and key onto the table like they would at an Apple store, so that everyone's on the same hardware and no one has any inherent advantage by having a better device than their opponent.
Wow, that's cool.
It's kind of like how in fighting games they provide everyone, PS5 Pros to use for the tournament. You just got to bring your own controller.
Yeah, because that's the only thing that I don't know how the judging works, at least for Pokemon Go. Because I've done judging for the TCG is fairly easy. Fortunately, there's no real crazy rulings outside of how do we correct this board state? Easy. Yeah. We'll just do this. Thank God everything's in between turns. So
video game and Go judging is just tech support really, because the games literally run themselves. Thankfully.
Yeah, thankfully.
Good one.
Yeah. So with that, talking about video games, we're here to talk about
Good segue. Good
The
segue.
video game of all
the
time.
video. Was it the like video game? Was it Universes Beyond set Final Fantasy?
Mhm.
So
Did you say Final Fantasy?
Wow.
Yeah, Final Fantasy.
Unlock.
Yeah, I wish I was a little bit more qualified to talk about this, but I've only ever played the good ones, which is like 7 and 10.
Good answer.
I mean,
You're gonna get hit by someone for saying things like that.
no. I would get hit by it if I said Tactics was the only good game.
I cannot believe you just openly said things like that.
Look, I played a little bit of 12, and then I got really bored from like the weird thing, and I got killed by a giant dinosaur just roaming out in the world.
Real events that happen in Final Fantasy for 500, Alex.
No, that's what happened to me when I played 12, and I just never got around to playing like any of the other ones. I know 13 was super popular, but it was also like very divisive, so I never got around to it.
I played none of them, so if it makes you feel any better. I'm just a Magic fan, so I love all Universes Beyond too.
Yeah, that's the great thing, because I've had a whole bunch of people ask me, like, oh, hey, Kunx, how do you feel about Universes Beyond? I'm like, I don't care. I literally only care about the text
I
on
just
the card.
want good cards. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what I think is an upgrade to another card that exists, which is called Blazing Crescendo. And this first card, Haste Magic, is basically Blazing Crescendo, but it gives haste as well as it gives haste for the same mana cost, which is insane to me. So Haste Magic costs 1 and a red. It's an instant speed spell, which says target creature gets +3/+1 and gains haste until end of turn. Exile the top card of your library. You may play it until your next end step. As Edgar told me during the pre-show, Blazing Crescendo says until your next turn, so that is a little minor drawback. But it's effectively the same card, just power corrupt, because giving the haste to something is insane in this format.
+3 is pretty good too. I like that card.
Yeah, +3 is crazy. The extra little buff and toughness is also just crazy to just, get out of bolt range.
And this is important to Final Fantasy people. I believe that's Cloud on the card. So that's like
Oh my God.
extra.
I believe that's Cloud.
It's not. That's actually blonde Zack.
Is that Zack Fair? Oh, okay.
No,
my
that's
bad.
Cloud. No, it's Cloud. No, it's Cloud.
No.
It's like, what are you talking about? That's Zelda.
Oh, that's Zelda. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like all levels of like crash out and mad at the same time.
Look, man, I will always be a Cloud hater. That man just wants to be Zack so badly. He will
Literally.
take over his life.
That's Titus.
That's a real crash out. All right, I'm out of here.
That's a blonde check? Yes.
Yeah, so Edgar,
Look, I'm happy you didn't call him Sora is all.
Yeah, so Edgar, coming from other Magic formats and predominantly Commander, how do you feel about Haste Magic and these little combat tricks? Yeah, you play. You love your Go deck.
Yes. This is interesting. I think if I had to compare it to a card, what I would probably compare it to is like it reminds me of like kind of Arena of Glory, because Arena of Glory costs 1 to activate and it's the land itself, so it's kind of 2. So you are kind of paying the same cost, but obviously it doesn't really work the same. The effect is okay. If I had to think of where I'd probably run this, it would be something that cares about being targeted. Zada, I think, is probably someone that would love something like this. That kind of,
yeah, they already
effect,
run
right?
Blazing Crescendo, so having another copy of a similar effect is crazy. Again, the fact just giving Zada haste on the turn that she comes down, you should be winning. Yeah, and speaking of things being targeted, we actually have a reprint of Shore Up.
What a
Shore
pretty
Up.
card.
Magic Dampener is literally just a copy of Shore Up, same exact text, just new art and new flavor text. Because, again, we do mostly play Commander, and being in a singleton format, just having redundant copies in your deck make all the good decks better. And it's something that I said last week, where all the good decks just keep getting gooder.
Gooder.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah.
everything.
That's a word.
Yeah,
Gooder.
because you've replaced bad cards in your deck with, again, better
Power
more
Crypteer.
copies of the same cards. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
I
'cause
like
now-
this card. Specifically because of Angain's Hexproof, because I like to play really powerful commanders that people love to exile. So I love that. I might actually put that card in my decks.
Yeah, and again, Shore Up has the same little text at the end where it says untap it. So
Mm-hmm.
in case of you move to combat and someone tries to blow up your creature, you just untap it. Congrats. You either give it a pseudo vigilance or you just suddenly now have a new blocker. So like if you, so specifically for you, you swing in with Coma
Yeah.
and you need like a big bitch to block with.
So there's also a lot of cards that I think there's one or two in this set, but in previous sets that specifically say like destroy tapped creature or tapped attacking creature. Could you cast that and untap it and prevent that
Yeah,
from
so
happening?
yeah,
Would
so it
that-
becomes untargetable twice through
Yeah, that
Hexproof
would be
and it's
cool.
not tapped.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some spell out there. I have to look up Settle the Wreckage, but I'm pretty sure Settle the Wreckage says tapped and attack was it destroy tapped and attacking creatures.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think it's still attacking. It's just untapped. I think it wouldn't work with Settle. This card is actually, if I compared this card to something, it'd be Slip Out the Back.
Yeah.
Slip Out the Back phases out, but it still gives it the +1/+1 counter, and it has the effect, but this untaps it. I actually think the untapping is much more. I rather risk the phasing out, like losing that, to be able to untap something and give it hexproof instead.
Yeah,
agree.
so again, we're just replacing bad cards and just putting in again same card, just second copy.
Mhm.
Yeah, and stuff that makes a second copy of itself. We have Dwarven Castle Guard. It's a what was a 2-mana creature that's a 2/1 that whenever it dies, you make a colorless hero token. Callie, you're the one who recommended this. I actually like it for Gut Leader because Gut Leader wants to sacrifice your own creatures, and we buff up our tokens. So the 1/1 hero token becomes a 3/3.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. I guess I like it for that reason too. I like it just because I love chump blockers and I love being able to throw something in front and being like, psych, now I have another creature. I just like death triggers. I don't know if this is true. I don't, sorry, chat, if you're listening, I don't play a ton of Pauper. I'm just really good friends with the host. But I feel like there's a lot of like crossover between Limited and Pauper. It feels like it because this is a card that I slayed with in Limited. That really dominated for me. I think I had 4 of them in my deck, my first deck that I built, and it did really well.
Yeah, there is because again, in Limited, you have to work with all the commons that you get that you just pick up, especially for just sealed. Most of the packs are common, so you just gotta live with it.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I love this card. And I love the 1/1 colorless hero creature tokens. They're
And again, 2
super
mana
significant.
for 3/2 is technically really good rate.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, and Andres, do you have any feelings about this card? I love the art. I think it looks adorable.
Yeah, he was just a regular enemy you would find in random encounters. So like no actual attachment, but it's cool that he got a card feature.
All right. Well, things
Yes.
that have attachments. Apparently, this rat just drops its tail when you kill it, and its tail is a treasure token.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which I actually think is going to see this might see play in maybe regular 60 card Pauper because they lost Deadly Dispute over there in that format. So if you just like hit this with like an Eviscerator's Insight, it's basically a Deadly Dispute with the treasure that it makes.
Mm.
Okay.
So Deadly Dispute is a card that says sacrifice a creature and artifact, draw 2 cards, and make a treasure token.
That got banned? Oh dang.
Or one in a black, yeah.
Yeah. Like, that card's super busted, especially for Affinity, where the treasure token is an extra artifact, so it makes all of your creatures... Yeah, so it makes the Refurbished Familiars cheaper, and makes your Mirror Enforcers cheaper.
Mm.
And it has such a pretty art in Through the Ages.
It does. It really does.
I like this card. I
think
like
there's-
treasure tokens. Can't go wrong with it.
There's a 1-mana version of this, isn't there? I think it's a skeleton. I just don't know because it's like
It feels like something I
Shambling
play in
Dust.
Arena all the time.
like we're gonna play this on turn 2 and maybe get 1 treasure out of it and like play. We're gonna sacrifice it on turn 3. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It just feels like super slow.
Again, the fact that it poops out a token when it dies is still just nice in general because you're still getting some sort of value out of the body.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't actually take a look at this earlier. This is actually tied to the next card we're going to be talking about, Zack Fair. But I think this might be Zack's best buddy, Weapons Vendor.
Mm-hmm.
So Weapons Vendor is a 4-mana creature that costs 3 and a white. That says when this creature enters, draw a card, which is automatically nice for me. At the beginning of combat during your turn, if you control an equipment, you may pay 1. When you do a tap, target equipment you control to target creature you control. So it's like a baby. What is this guy called? Arden, the mono white partner commander that lets you move all the auras and equipments. So yeah, you know what? For decks that really care about equipments, paying 1 at the beginning of the combat's really nice.
Really nice, yeah. Cloud would eat this up. I know it's not Pauper, but Cloud would eat this up. X-Soldier. I like this card.
Didn't I suggest this for your Dion deck too? I think.
Yes, it's in Dion as well, which is an equipment deck that has no reason to be an equipment deck. Wait, you could probably build Dion and Pauper, honestly, if there's a lot of uncommon knights. But
This card
I
is
think there's a
insane,
sampler,
dude. Am I going to be the one to say this card is like insane?
yeah, say it. Say it with your
Yeah,
chest.
maybe.
Though.
Go
Say
for
it
it.
with your chest.
I made a video about this card because I was reading it and I was like, okay, and it comes in, it draws a card.
Yeah.
It's a 2/2, and then at the beginning of combat, you pay 1 to move an equipment over. I think that's insane. The fact that why did they let us draw a card? You know what I mean? It's like this is not innately like a flicker deck. It's not like when it enters, equip something. No, this is just like it does a thing, but oh hey, by the way, draw a card. Like it's just so random to me.
Like, is there
It's
anything in
just-
Final Fantasy that would make it say that, or no?
I mean,
No,
he's
I'm
just
not
a regular.
looking at
He's
it,
just a regular weapons merchant, so he's not a named character. He just exists.
It's super weird, and I don't know. I love it. It's fine. You know what I mean?
I think the ETB draw card is there to make up for the fact that you're playing artifacts. Sorry, for the fact that you're playing equipment.
Wait a second.
And that it's a 4 cost.
Yeah, they have to make it like somewhat enticing to play.
Voltron is a super powerful way to play.
Trust me, I know. I love Dargo.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Is
I
that-
And I
mean,
love Murko. That Murko
if-
deck is the best
If
Voltron
not
deck I've ever
Voltron,
played.
why Voltron shaped is what I'm hearing.
Well, we're going to be talking about Voltron commanders. We'll just talk about the best character from Final Fantasy VII, Zack
Yes.
Fair.
Zack
All right,
Fair.
Callie, I'll let you talk about your boyfriend.
Oh yeah, I really like Zack Fair. So he's 1 white, he's a 1, and he enters with a 1/1 counter, and then you can pay 1 and sack him. Target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. Put Zack Fair's counters on that creature and attach an equipment that was attached to Zack Fair to that creature. I just think it's great. I think it's a fantastic commander. A lot of cards here are very, very wordy, and this one just feels very, very wordy. But it's simply just moving around counters and moving around equipments, which is
What
like
I
my
love
favorite
about
thing
him
to
is
do.
that he's only 1 mana.
Mhm.
So recasting him is really not that hard. So you go play him on turn 1. I forgot the name of the... Oh, no, it's Bone Saw. Bone Saw is the 0 mana equipment.
Mhm.
So you have that. If you can mulligan to your weapons vendor pretty early and have the mana to support it, I think you're good. Plus, you're in white, so you have a whole bunch of flicker spells again to recurve weapons vendor.
Mhm. Mhm.
So can I
This,
give you the lore on this, actually?
Yeah, go for it.
So it says sacrifice Zack Fair, and that plays into his existence in the Crisis Core PSP game from like 2000 whatever. And it's because he sacrifices himself for the plot of the story so that Cloud can do the things that he does in Final Fantasy VII later. So it's one of those where when I read the card, I was just like,
So basically,
In love
we
with
need
it.
to put him in a deck with Cloud, and we need to sack Zack to give Cloud his weapons. Would that be on par
Yes.
with lore?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. We can
Yeah.
probably pull that up.
Time to become a Vorthos. Time
Yeah,
to become the
you-
Vorthos player I always knew I was.
Easier
yeah,
done than said.
that would be
Yeah, that.
cool.
Oh my god, that's super. That runs it. That's super funny when Edgar learned that Aerith had a death trigger.
That's the segue. There you go.
Oh my god, I'm playing FF7, right? As the set's coming out. And I don't know how I didn't catch it that Aerith has a death trigger. I just thought, that's fine. And then I'm playing the game and I'm like, oh, yeah. I like this card. This is like interesting because I guess White likes to get low CMC legends, which is really cool because it
like
has
Yoshimaru.
Isamaru, and Yoshimaru, which by the way means good boy in Japanese, which is my favorite thing ever.
He's like top CDH right now too.
He's awesome. I love him. I play him with I forgot her name, but the last of the Abzan, so it's an Abzan
Rayhan.
deck. And Rayhan. It's super cool. But this is really good because it's a 1/2, which opposed to Isamaru, which is like a 2/2, and it gets like a box of text on it. It's awesome, and I love low cost white legendaries.
Yeah, it's nuts. I hope that I really hope that Zack does find a home in PDH. Someone in the casual space probably already has a deck. But moving on, combat tutorial. It's a 3-mana sorcery that says target player draws 2 cards and put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of joking about it, saying that I feel this might be a little bit too expensive. But unfortunately, because it does give a +1/+1 counter, it might actually have a home in either Gretchen lists or Weaver's lists. And fortunately, I'm talking to 2 of the biggest Weaver's experts I know.
Weavers!
Because you guys have a Vigian Graft Mage, which, again, lets you untap your Weaver or any creature that has a +1/+1 counter. So having a draw spell plus a way to give a +1/+1 counter outside of your auras just sounds great.
And since there's that, it's 2 separate sentences, you can target one person to draw 2 cards and then put a +1/+1 on one of your creatures instead to speed up the the deck out process.
Well, you already have infinite mana by the time you're decking someone out, so you don't really have to.
Funny enough, I think like 3 mana is like not a problem in that deck. This is super good. This is like a cycle. This is like if this said cycle 3, put a +1/+1 counter, it would I would just put it in. This is great. I'm gonna dig deeper to try to find the tutors for what I need to so I can get to the combo.
Mm-hmm.
And putting the counter, like you said, is just reinforcing that fact that it's going to enable the combo. So I like it actually. I think it's interesting in that list.
Yeah, actually, I'm starting to really like it a lot more than I'm talking about it with you guys. But
Yeah.
Callie, you also play big Simic decks
Are you talking
in
me?
Commander. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm strictly looking at this, and I'm strictly looking at my actual Titus deck about moving around counters. I think it's perfect. It's really good in casual. I do not see the lines that you guys are talking about in the deck weavers that you're talking about, but in Big Simic, this is a great card. I think anytime you can draw cards, it's good, of course. But the 1/1 counters is awesome, especially in Titus.
Yeah. So, actually, Callie, I think there's also your other card that you recommended.
Yes,
Drag-
We are gooning with Dragoon's Wyvern.
Yeah, so I think this card is actually pretty good and limited as well. Because again, a 3 mana for a
A 2/1 flyer.
Yeah, for a 3/2 a body, technically split up between 2 and one of them has flying is not terrible.
And a chump blocker. For 2 and a blue, you get a 2/1 flyer with a chump blocker added on. I think it's great. I love flyers though. Like if I'm in limited or I'm in draft or let's face it, commander, I'm putting it chock full of flyers because nowadays it feels like a lot of people don't put a lot of flyers in their decks.
No, they just don't print that many flyers. It's really weird now that I think about it. They just don't put anything with evasion on anymore. Like most of evasion stuff is just trample, or Manache, but they don't really go with flying anymore.
If I am playing one of my decks loaded with flyers, I might not always win, but I'm like doing the most damage because I'm swinging out with my flyers, and no one ever really has blockers for them.
Yeah. I mean, you love archetype of imagination,
Archetype of
right?
imagination. Yep, I love to give everything I have flying and take flying from everyone. That's like a win con in almost all of my decks.
That's fucking crazy.
I know. It's so good.
Speaking of taking options away from people, here's Ice Magic. For 2 mana, it's a snap. For 4 mana, it's a submerge. For I can't math right now, Magic.
8.
What?
8.
Yeah. Target creatures. Okay. You just send it straight back into the library? That's way too much.
Doesn't Chaos Warp do the same thing for like way less?
Yeah, but you also have the bad luck benefit of bringing out something a lot better, which is personally why I hate Chaos Warp.
Yeah. 8 mana to just get rid of something semi-permanently, unless they search it back out or draw into it, is expensive, but could be good, especially in a 100-card format where you don't see a lot of your deck sometimes.
Yeah, I just feel like the 8 mana mode is mostly, again, for limited, for draft and... for draft and sealed.
And also for flavor.
Like, once you send it back, they're never going to see that shit ever again.
Yeah, when this card came out, I remember Gavin tweeted about it, very excited to have Blizzard, Blizzara, and Blizzaga in this card. I don't know, Andres, you can probably talk more on it. I don't know why, but they're very excited about that, specifically for flavor.
What it is that it's the 3 different levels of magic. So Blizzard is the level 1 spell, Blizzara is your level 2 spell, Blizzaga is your level 3 spell. And that's the same for all the spells. So Ice Magic, Fire Magic, Thunder Magic, they all follow the same naming pattern.
That's how I know Callie hasn't played enough FF14 and that she's still probably like level 15 because that's exactly what happens in the game.
I'm level 16. I'm level 16.
I won.
Wait, Final Fantasy 14, the critically named MMORPG, free to level 70?
Exactly the one.
Free level 70.
Where you can play it through the expansion, Heaven's Ward, and Stormblood?
Yeah,
yes.
Look, all right, Cal, I have
Amazing.
not played D&D at all. I don't know how the spell level system works in D&D.
They don't work like that.
Okay.
Simple, to the point.
It's just different spells.
Okay, yeah, because like again, I know in Final Fantasy it does have that old tier. Personally, I kind of missed it when it was just like heal 1, heal 3.
This is giving My Hero Academia. This is giving Deku, like when he unlocks like the whip, and then he you know what I'm saying? That's what this card.
Man, spoilers! All I know that
Midnight 2025 is crazy.
Referencing Final Fantasy in 2025 is great.
Oh, come on!
Best-selling Magic set ever.
Oh man, it unfortunately is.
All I know is that I remember seeing some people complain about the card and how it didn't work like the cards from Outlaws, where it was spree, so you could cast all 3. And I'm like, flavor-wise, it doesn't make sense to triple cast all 3 levels of Blizzard in one shot. Dummy.
Which is funny because this art has Lulu on it, who can literally do that.
Is that a Lafufu in that picture as well?
Yes, it basically is. It is an actual.
It looks like a Moogle doll.
It is.
Oh my god, the Moogle Labubu is crazy.
It's her emotional support stuffy. Leave her alone.
I love it. I
kind of wish it was the I have one of those too. This is Nancy. If I had a magic card, it would be in the corner. Like that.
All right, I have my emotional support free run that I talk to in the morning.
That you talk to in the morning?
Let me reach over.
Editor, keep that in.
Here's my emotional support pigeon.
Oh,
that shit's ugly as fuck.
So these are very put in our
You
magic
take that
card.
back.
No, I hate a pheasant.
It's a male pheasant. It deserves it.
Edgar, don't be shy. What's in your magic card in the corner?
This is Chief Chirpa from episode... He's the leader of the Ewoks.
All right, at least you have Cheap Chirpa and not just Wicket.
Oh,
Even though we're big Tebow fans
We're
over
not
here.
Taking Wicket hate.
That's so good.
First of all, my Wicked hate is actually very generational. And we are, like I said, we are very big Debo fans.
Oh, me.
Speaking of generational stuff, this one's gyrational with Rook Turret.
Oh my god.
I love that. I love that.
A plus.
All right, Rook Turret.
It reminds me of the smuggler's copter, and then the next thing I thought in my head was that old joke from I think it was like the Cardboard Crack comics, where it was like, "Hey, I need help with a deck. Oh, what do you have? I have 4 smuggler's copters. That's all you needed back in the day."
God. Shit's busted. Same thing with this. So Rook Turret's a 4-mana 3/3 flyer that says whenever an other artifact enters, you may draw a card, and if you do, discard a card. This shit's busted in Abdel Blue. So that way, whenever Abdel comes back in with all the artifacts, I just have a way to at least draw all my cards and then just cycle through the deck. I'm pretty sure there's some other artifact decks that I can't think of, like maybe Sphinx Summoner, because that I think has a Mirror Retriever loop in it. So you just like cycle through like the same couple. It's Mirror Retriever, Mirror Scrappling, and some other mirror. I can't remember because I fucking hate that combo.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Edgar, how'd you feel about this card? Because you're the one who's
This could be cool in like an Armix decks if we're talking Pauper, right? Armix with where he cares about the amount of artifacts that are in the yard. I could see this working out. If we're going to talk about real Commander, where we play rares,
Yes.
This is this is a good Emery card. I would also probably experiment with this in like a Brea deck or maybe like a Metacant deck.
I would put this
just
in my
'cause-
Urza deck. Not that one though. The 3-color one.
Yeah. Not that one. There's like 4.
Not.
Yeah,
the
as
cheap
for
Artificer.
Urza one's busted.
Yeah, the
you just
Esper
draw a
Urza,
card.
that would be great in there.
Yeah, you just loot every end step and you make a construct.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just to know, is this a Sage's skill in 14? Because I see it's a 14 card, but I'm not there yet.
This is a Machinist skill.
Machinist. Okay.
Yes.
Oh wait, you say it Machinist? You don't say
Supposed to?
Machinist? Machinist?
You say
No, I speak
Machinist?
English.
What?
Bro, do you guys care about machines? I'm fucking hard out bed. I hate Machina.
It's Machinist. Are we kidding? Are we joking?
This is a joke, right?
It's
No,
not,
not
right?
no. Maybe I'm wrong, I guess.
All right, viewers, put down below in the comments which one is it? Machinist or Machinist?
If you say Machinist, what?
Oh my god. Yeah, I see like Saffron Olive commenting immediately.
All right,
It's not called a
moving
Machin. It's called a machine. It's a machinist.
Yeah. Not
It's a
machinist.
machination. It's a machination.
What?
Absolutely not. You're making things up now.
Absolutely
All right,
not.
yeah,
I
are.
promise I'm not.
You're reaching.
Oh.
All right, so we're gonna lump the next 3 together. It's Mysidian Elder, cornered by Black Mages,
Stood
and
up
then
and
Black
applauded.
Mages Rod.
Stood up and applauded.
Yes.
Yes, Rakdos slayed here.
Yeah, these cards are just so busted. Again, the token that these cards produce, the 0/1 Black Wizard,
Mhm.
that is basically a spell pinger. Like we're giving more copies of was a Firebrand Archer,
Mhm.
which is a really good creature by itself.
Everyone was excited for that reprint.
Yeah, like when they reprinted Firebrand Archer into Foundations, I was like, why the fuck are they putting this back in Standard?
For 5 years.
Oh my god, that's crazy. And then we're getting more, and then we're just getting wizards that do the same thing in the set.
Can I talk about the Wizards?
Yeah.
I love these little guys so much. They are so much fun. I was playing Kuja, and oh my god, the little pings is like the most annoying thing. The death by 1,000 cuts. If I tell someone I'm doing 14 and they're like, what? And I'm like, do you not see my little boys?
Wait, hold up. Do you have Kuja built?
Theoretically.
I have Kuja built.
Thank you.
Do you
That
have-
deck is now going to the Franklin Suja Foundation.
Helm of the
In
Host.
partnership with Christopher Jackson Foundation.
Listen to me, Edgar. Helm of the Host on Kuja, and you're making wizards at every single instep is incredible. I love these things too. I have them right in
I
front
love
of
these
me.
little guys.
I need
love
a
these little
collection of
guys.
them.
They're broken, right?
Yeah,
And they're so much fun.
They're fun.
yeah. Because Cal, I'm gonna link your deck list in the description, but like the one that you built with like a whole bunch of damage doublers is already insane.
It's
I don't think it
gross.
needs that many, but like who cares?
So I get when I sit down at a table, I absolutely despise doing burn damage targeted per person. So like this is a burn deck that I really jive with because all of you are taking it. And that makes me feel better as a Magic player sitting down at a table with strangers.
Yeah, again, that's why I love playing Malcolm Kettis at random tables at conventions.
I don't want to do threat assessment. I want everyone to die, right? I mean, that's what we're talking about, right? Like, that's great because I think Blood Artist is a targeted one, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, Blood Artist is targeted. Was it Zula Port?
Oh my god, this is 2008. All right, it's 2000 late. We're playing Black Mages now.
You're all dead to me. I don't care what you're playing.
Yeah,
I love that. That was a 10 out of 10 joke. I love that. Thank you so much.
But yeah, the fact that cornered by Black Mages forces target opponent to sacrifice a thing, that's hilarious.
So
to just get around like indestructible or like something with like really high toughness. Black Mage's Rod is just, the equipment that just makes it, but it's already attached, so you're
and it triggers them too because it's a non-creature spell.
No, so here's the crazy thing about this one. It doesn't actually make the token.
It doesn't. It just makes it have the ability. Yeah.
Yeah, so everything can be a Firebrand Archer. As well as a wizard.
It's the best.
Do we have Circle of Power? Like, I know it's not a common, but it's so fun doing Circle of Power.
In Kuja?
Because the life gain is crazy.
Yes.
Let me go check.
I've had a couple people play the card, and I'm like, oh, by the way, your wizards have like +1/+0 and lifelink now.
Oh, no. Thank God Circle of Power is a uncommon.
So fun.
Yeah, it's really good.
Again, when I was playtesting Callie's deck on Moxfield and I saw Circle of Power, I was like, oh, I can't ever lose.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Final
Fantasy
all
my wizards are pinging everyone for double damage, and I have another double damage dealer on it. The only thing that's left to do
is synergy is insane.
Yeah, the only thing left to do is turn like Gutter Snipe into a wizard, which again, I don't know whether or not you actually keep Maskwood Nexus in the deck because
I ended up taking out Maskwood Nexus because I didn't want that many wizards. Because I didn't realize that Kuja flipped when you have 4 wizards. I thought you could choose.
Yeah, no, that was a really awful conversation that we had. It was like, so when can you flip it? I was like, I thought you could just hold on to it because I'd rather keep making more wizards.
But the wording says when you have 4 wizards, so that's why I was thinking Maskwood Nexus because I was like, oh, sick! I'll just pump the board up and then flip. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, unfortunately. But Red has enough ways to like make copies of tokens, so we're good. Yeah, and along with Black Mage's Rod, we have White Mage's Staff, which is the counterpart version. I wish that there was more job select equipments in common. Unfortunately, I think we only got these 2.
You have a rapier.
Actually.
You have a rapier as well in red. There's a few. Yeah.
I believe it's the FF1 jobs are commons. So I think it's the warrior one, the red mage, the white mage, and the black mage was a common as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually believe it's the FF1 weapons.
It's also
really
Bard, Monk, Sage, and Bard, Monk, and Sage as well, and Paladin.
But Bard is a rare.
No, Bard isn't common.
Oh, I'm thinking of Grimoire. I'm thinking of Grimoire. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the name?
If you type in rarity : common, you'll see all the common ones, and the search.
I already beat you.
There's the rapier. Red Mage's rapier.
There it is.
Right there. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have the rapier on here. The Red Mage's rapier.
Yeah, same family.
It gives it like pseudo prowess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wizard.
It's actually not that bad either.
I love everything with job select. It's super cool.
Yeah,
I love
It's
living
funny
weapon.
because I was playing the Ishtala deck, which runs a bunch of the job weapons, and it's such a weird way to like cast non-creature spells but still have creatures in your deck.
What did
And I
you
thought
call
that was
her?
cool.
What?
Ishtala.
What'd you say?
Okay.
Just
because
don't
I kept
That's her name?
everyone calling the was it Yashtolo or some other weird.
I just
Well,
call
I'm
her
saying
Cat
it
Girl.
correct.
That is the correct answer. There's an apostrophe there for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put it there with all the rest of my machinists.
Listen, I've only played FF1 and FF14, and well, I guess and 7, so I know.
All right. Well, all I know is I feel like I'm being sabotaged by this Sabotender.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
All right, Edgar, this one was your suggestion. Sell me on this stupid thing, because like I said, I don't want to put a curiosity effect on it, right? Sure, it says landfall, ping everyone for 1. Sure, that means I'm going to draw 3 cards just by playing the land. Sure, that means I technically go infinite after once I do Perry and Drake, Archaeomancer loop, and then target a land, and then just win off of that. But that's the Drake combo loop winning. Sell me on this thing.
So, okay, this is a good card. Impact Tremor for lands. I mean, if we're still playing Ravica in the year of our Lord 2025, we can play Sabotender, right? Because Ravica is only for mountains, only after you've reached 5. It's going to be 2 damage, but Sabotender is as early as turn 2, you're doing 1 damage, and if you have a damage doubler, you're doing 2, 3, and if you have anything that triggers off creatures doing damage, he's doing the damage. So I think it's a good card. It has reach, like they just threw that on there too. Like they were like, nah, I'm not gonna reach.
I think they just gave reach to like all plants.
Yeah, that guy can't reach me if I'm in the air.
It's fine. He only has 1 toughness.
It's a cactus. It throws the needles at you. Have you not seen Togemon from Digimon?
No.
Well, you should.
Digimon guy.
Wait a second.
But yeah.
Yeah, this
man.
kind of circles back to it does the whole table at once as well. So like, I think it's great.
Yeah, because something I forgot to mention is that I personally hate it whenever someone goes, "Oh, let me roll the die to see who I'm gonna punch first." I'm like, no.
Oh my god, he does hate that.
That's like my biggest
Yeah.
pet peeve as well. Like, man up. Which one are you attacking?
Exactly. That's why I love it whenever I play Mirko. I'm just like, sorry, I already hit you for commander damage. You're gonna die first, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I've played against you. You do not care who dies.
Yeah.
I'm like, sorry, I already marked it for commander. I gotta finish a job.
Yeah.
I just finished watching Blue Lock, so that's why this is relevant. But you enter your flow state when you play Magic against us. You don't care who is at that table.
He does got that look in his eye.
He does. You enter your flow state.
I've seen him do it. He looks down and he does not look up until he speaks.
First of all, I don't even think it's like that.
People, he's just looking at the board and the playmats and the cards. He doesn't care. He's like, yeah, you're going.
He's like in Yu-Gi-Oh where you see like the 3D apparition of the things. Like he is on the battlefield. He has the disc on his arm.
Yeah, he's just leveling up and devouring.
His grandfather's deck has no stupid cards.
Do you know what's really funny about all of this?
What?
Do you guys know who my favorite anime character of all time is?
Kaiba. Oh my god, I nailed it.
It literally is Kaiba.
Is that the ramen cup topper?
It is.
Oh my god.
He's like the only affordable Kaiba figure I've been able to find in the wild.
That's so funny.
Yeah, because like the pop-up, what was it? There's a Kaiba figure that I think Good Smile Company makes, but I don't ever want it because like his head has like a weird mold seam on it. So like I don't want to buy it and then like have to sand it down.
Yeah, well it's because you can hot swap the faces on all their figures.
It's a pop-up parade, so it's not even that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not like an Android where you can do that.
And this has been show and tell with Common Theory.
Oh
not
no,
his
we do that all
fingers.
the time here.
This
Gator
is
fucking
my
walks up and
Nancy.
grabs his transformer.
This is my
In his
Nancy
glass
number
state.
2. I have a Nancy number 3.
Oh, if we're just showing off, then
I'm
I guess
done.
I'll show my birds, I guess.
Oh, I have that one.
Aw.
And then I also have a toucan at my desk that I built recently.
Have
Do you guys
y'all
want another
seen-
obscure Star Wars thing?
Boy, do I!
Hey guys, this is the MG100 Star Fortress SF-17 from Episode 7.
I love those
think.
things because it's big enough that it should have artificial gravity in it, so people should.
No, he knows.
Have you guys?
First of
seen-
all, do you know what's the cool thing about that? The bottom part you can technically remove and swap out like it's a giant magazine.
Yes.
Huh.
So
Like on a
I don't have a good segue for all of this because I have to cut all of that out in editing. But was it because Final Fantasy preview season lasted like 6 months? As soon as Black Waltz number 3 got released,
That's like blurry.
pretty much the entire community was like, "Oh my god, we finally have a good Rakdos commander." And unfortunately, in PDH, we just don't have enough spells to cast in order to make this thing worth it.
Is
Like,
PDH
I love the idea of it.
not
yeah.
recognized as a format here on Scryfall?
Oh my god.
It's
Why would you
not.
bring that up?
Well, I just like
It-
it's got its own legalities to it. Like I would think it would like because I saw Pauper not legal, and then I was like, oh, I guess that's 60 card.
Yeah, it's
yeah, but
60
it's
card
legal
font.
as a proper commander.
That's
It's
interesting.
recognized over in Moxfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
'cause,
legality
like,
is so specific in PDH. Like I just feel like it should have something.
Oh no, the legality is really fucking great because it's just any uncommon creature as long as it's printed at uncommon,
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much every single common card is legal in the main deck outside of Rhystic Study. Rhystic Study and Mystic Remore.
Mm-hmm. Which makes
Those are the only 2 ban cards.
this card is awesome.
Oh no, for regular commander, this card's a sauce. It's like another gutter snipe, but it has flying and
For
death touch.
4 mana, yeah.
No, and it's was a non-creature spell, so technically it works off
Sure.
more stuff than gutter snipe.
And it's a flyer and a death toucher. Flying and death touch is criminal.
Yeah, but
Those are lethal
unfortunately,
together.
yeah,
Is this
but
like a mini
unfortunately,
boss from Final Fantasy
PDH
9, maybe?
No, this one's from 9. Yeah, but unfortunately, in PDH, it costing 4 mana is already like pretty bad because you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
afterwards.
it is a boss fight in Final Fantasy 9.
It's kind of cool. I like it in the zone, right? In the command zone, it's pretty cool. Like you said, 4 mana, and then I have to storm off is kind of clunky.
Yeah, like
I feel like
unfortunately,
there's
if it
people
was
that do it
blue-
better.
Yeah, like if it was blue, would be better because you have High Tide.
Mm.
Yes.
And the casual.
I don't know if we're going
Fortunately-
to show the card later, but there's a card that I think is better than that one.
Yeah, this one.
No.
Emperor Palamecia, which flips into the Lord Master of Hell. All right, so first of all, our buddy Lotad built this deck, and this deck is fucking sick as hell because it's a mana dork for 2 mana, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a 2/2, which is already not terrible stats. You tap it to make either a blue or a red. You can only cast it to cast non-creature spells, which is, pretty generous, all things considered, right? But whenever you cast a non-creature spell, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if you spend at least 4 mana into it, you put a +1/+1 counter, and then whenever it has 3 or more counters, you can flip it over. And then whenever you flip it over, and whenever it attacks, you deal X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of non-creature, non-land cards in your graveyard. So by the time, by the time it first flips, you're already doing 7 damage to the rest of the table, as well as it's inherently a 6/6.
So I have like a weird addiction to commanders that that are mana dorks. There's like a bunch of them, and I think all of them are super fun, right? Because especially at 2 mana, there's I think there's like a dog
Ruby
that does it. I
Tracker?
think
Was it Ruby Tracker?
Ruby Tracker is one of them. Like Elena is one that does it. Dalekos, like there's a ton of them, but they all if they're like low mana costs, like there's one that's 1 in a green, which is from the Doctor Who set that has like another part that cares about plane chase, which is awesome. But it also just taps for green, like it's just a dork, and it does cool stuff. Like it's so interesting to be able to dork out of the command zone because it makes the rest of the deck consistent. Right? It's interesting. You don't have to like mull for a cultivate, mull for like a nature's lore. You just have it in the zone, which is super efficient.
Yeah, we love mana dorks in the zone. Yeah, again, I'll put the deck list in the description. But so far in testing, again, it just does so much damage. And whenever it reflips or recasted, it's not even that bad because again, it costs 2. And we usually play Opal Palace, which puts a counter on it just for playing.
This is a really cool card, actually. I don't normally like cards that enable and also are payoff at the same time. But in this case, I think because of the fact that it doesn't necessarily draw you cards or do anything ridiculous like that, I think the deck does play kind of fun.
Yeah, and it forces you to play more expensive spells or spells with kicker.
Right.
Or like additional cost to it, yeah.
The way I would do this is like the pseudo free spells like Gush, Foil, the ones that you can cast for less, but their CMC is like 4 or more, because you can get around it, but still cast a spell. Is it?
Well, no, because
You
you
have to
spend
do it, man.
Right. This is the spent. So this one
Yeah.
checks. Okay. I was thinking this was like Ishtilla, where it's like, if it's a spell of that.
Oh no, we would never get anything that good. that good.
Not for this format.
Because like this is already like super busted already, in my opinion, at least.
Interesting. No, yeah, this card is cool.
Callie, have you been able to draft this at all?
No, actually, this is my first time seeing this card. And I probably have read it, but there's so many legendary creatures in this set that like I feel like I glazed over a lot of them. But I think this seems really fun. I'm not really a spell slinger. It's like my least played color combination, but I like it. I can see that it has potential to be really good.
I don't know, which is kind of crazy to me considering how much Simic you play and how like you often dip your like entire foot and then your entire leg into red. I don't know how you somehow managed to avoid it.
Yeah, I just think that I like creatures, and the way Magic was taught to me was like creatures in battle, and like when your creatures break through, that's how you win. So like I'm just not really used to spell slinging, I guess. I want creatures on my board.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because when I got back into Magic and started playing Commander, I was like, combat sucks. Let me avoid it as much as humanly possible.
Yeah, and I love
death by combat. That's my favorite thing.
But I do like graveyard shenanigans. Like I've gotten more into like the Golgari aspect of things and like Maractos wizards. But like, so maybe I'm close. And maybe I'll start with this one.
I want to say like people that do play like where they're like, oh, I love creatures, or like I love like playing a certain way. Do that for as long as possible, because what happened to me was I was that way about something, and then the second you're like, oh, I'll try this out, you discover a whole nother part of Magic the Gathering, and you're just like, oh, this is like revitalizing, right? Because you've played so much with like this one archetype that you just like discover this whole other world. And I recommend it to everyone, is just like stick with something, and then once you're like finally super bored of that, be like, oh, I'm gonna try Spellslinger, I'm gonna try like creatures, whatever, and then you discover like a whole nother universe pretty much.
That was my exact reaction to playing with Franklin's Weaver's deck. Or whoever it belonged to when I played it. I was immediately just like, wait, what? This is the comp? What is it? I just won by just tapping and untapping and making everyone... it's just silly enough that I love it and I want to play it now. And
you're just
literally the next week I was traveling. The next week I was traveling to Gen Con, and I was able to find all the cards from the vendors there in the same weekend and have the deck ready. I was playing it at like our staff commander night, and everyone was mad at me because it comboed off. And I'm like, it's a bunch of common cards. You guys suck.
Yeah, that's the only problem that I have sometimes when playing commander decks in regular commander tables. I just go like, bro, there's a whole bunch of commons. It's technically bracket 3. Here's a win on turn 4. And then here's one on turn 5.
Yeah.
So when I played Spell Table with you guys, and I was like, my deck has cards that were all in precons, and you just all like glared at me.
Yeah, because that doesn't really mean much. anymore. When they print crazy stuff into precons.
Yeah, when they print stuff like, was it Teferi's Protection? That's already busted.
Seedborn
When they
Root,
print,
an offer you can't refuse. Like there's a combo printed straight into Titus, the Final Fantasy precon, a 3-card infinite
Right.
with Walking Ballista.
yeah, what's the name of that white creature?
Coma was printed into a precon for crying out loud.
He was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Deep
Yeah.
from
Oh.
Sea.
The $20 one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Wait, sorry. I was thinking of a different creature.
Coma's like $2 now.
I mean, AC.
There you go. It's got a
yeah,
loser.
there it is.
Got a loser.
Yeah, again, the fact that this is like, it makes sense, right? Like in the grand scheme of things, for the +1/+1 deck, like sure, we'll just prevent damage and just keep adding on to stuff. Yeah, that's totally fine. But then
Yeah.
why the fuck did they put Walking Ballista in it?
Mm-hmm.
They had to give it a win condition.
Go, oh man, what was that Yeti that we scrolled past so fast?
Umaro?
It looked like a big Yeti.
Probably Umaro. He's
Oh,
red.
yeah, Umaro. Oh, he's red. Dang it. I have a Yeti deck.
Oh yeah, no, your Yeti is
Isu.
banned.
Yeah, bam.
Yeah.
That's a good card.
He's cool because he actually works the way he works in the game, because you add him to your party, but he can't. You can't choose what he does. He just kind of does random stuff. So, like at the beginning of combat, you do one at random. It's pretty nifty.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, that is pretty cool. All right, and I think with that, that should be the end of our like little set review. So, I want to thank all of you guys for joining, hanging out with us, talking for a bit. Callie, so where can everyone find you on the internet?
Yeah, so I am Callie Shae. I believe I'm Callie MTG or Callie Shae MTG on TikTok and Instagram. I'm on Blue Sky. You can find me on Twitch under Sipstream. And yeah, maybe I have met some of you by now in Vegas. I am a Final Fantasy ambassador, so if you ever see anything promoting Final Fantasy, give it a like, share some love, and that's me. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this, Kunx. It's always fun chatting with you, and tell Gator and Rohan I'm coming for their jobs.
Yeah, hopefully. Again, like we'll see, because life has just been like kicking all our asses recently.
Yeah, I get it.
Edgar, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, on TikTok, Blue Sky, Instagram, sort of, Ravnica BP. I do some posts on there. I talk about architecture sometimes, but just pretty much skits and stuff in general. And on my Blue Sky, it's kind of a parody account where I like pretend that I'm the Ravnica building and planning department, and it's really funny. And I talk about how my boss is Nimmiza and he hates me.
I still find your tweet about the Gruul just like, they don't know how to use a pen, they just bite my stupid tablet.
It was reminder, your surveys have to be signed by the surveyor, and if your surveyor is Gruul, a bite mark does not count as a signature.
I find that slightly racist, because what if they decide to DMX? What if they decide
It's
Dark
Gildist,
Man
right?
X?
Yeah, it's a little Gildist, I guess.
That is very Gildist.
They don't really know how to read, so...
Do you
it's
think
kind of
Dormy
unlikely.
Rod ever learned how to read? The dude fell out of the sky and then teleported.
Yeah, he rides a hog to school every day. He brushes his teeth with coal. That kind of vibe.
First of all, that dude is literally cranking his hog. And finally,
Literally.
finally, Andres, where can people find you online?
I guess if you want to interact with me, I'm on Twitter under Potato in a Box too. But it's just me reposting stuff that I like. So.
Yeah, and you also run the weekly Pokemon stream over on.
Oh yeah, if you ever find yourself in
Podcast.
Miami, Florida, I run Pokemon League every Tuesday at 8 p.m. at Rock Esports. Stop on by.
I love the sentence, if you ever find yourself, because it's like it like the idea I got in my head is one guy wakes up and he's just like, Miami, Florida, what am I doing here?
Because like, okay, if you think about it honestly, what card game player would find themselves in Miami, Florida on purpose if they didn't already live in South Florida?
No,
That was
none,
so
because
true.
we only
when
have
I
like
come
2.5 LGSs.
2.5's not
We
bad.
should totally plan like a commander event at my LGS if you guys want.
It has a bar and it's really cool.
Can we call it EDH and bring out all the girls?
Oh, maybe like at the end of the year.
Maybe it could finally see a spike in female attendance. No offense, ROK Esports, do better. Okay, bye.
All right, bye everyone. See you guys next
Bye.
week. If you made it this far, you guys are the real ones. Support us over on Patreon. You can find us on TikTok, Twitter, Blue Sky, a whole bunch of other places. Bye.
Thank you for watching, and if you want to support the channel, please subscribe and join the Discord in our link below. And become a member over on our Patreon.
Shout out to all of our patrons: Eric, Cobraman, Aaron, Dax, Devin, NYC Burrito, Little Rat Lotad, Frank, Scoob, HZ, and Too Much Do. Thank you for all of your support.